Hey, Simon, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, Catherine. It's lovely to speak with you.
That's wonderful. By the way, congratulations on your new role. Oh my gosh,
Thanks very much.
that's good. So tell us, what does your new role as the Disability Confidence Manager at Elsevier involve?
As Disability Confidence Manager, my role is to work with colleagues with disabilities across Elsevier, identifying disability-related barriers to them fulfilling their potential and helping to remove these. More broadly, it's about looking at the employee life cycle from the moment someone sees a job advertised with Elsevier through the application process, joining the company and making sure they can succeed once they get here. I'm personally invested in this role because I've got first-hand experience of what it's like to be set up for success and also about how frustrating it can be when things go wrong. I'm severely sight impaired myself, and I've been lucky during the past several years to have colleagues at Elsevier who've worked hard to make sure I can fulfill my potential. When I entered the world of work about 10 years ago, I didn't find much in place to help me succeed. I was reliant on managers going above and beyond. Looking forward, therefore, I don't want others to have to rely on individuals like that. There needs to be processes in place to help everybody succeed.
That's brilliant. Thank you for telling us that. So tell me, why was the new role created? Do you know?
Yeah, so if we look at the global workforce according to United Nations, um, people with disabilities have always made up a substantial proportion of our workforce. So according to the United Nations, about 15% of working age globally, so that's between 16 and 64 years of age, have a disability or long-term health condition. And of these, at about 80% acquire this disability during their working life. 80% of disabilities are also hidden, so non-visible. And I think the prominence of diversity, equity, and inclusion are principles that underpin both our work at Elsevier and wider cultures. Um, and this has increased in terms of momentum in the past decade. I think the COVID-19 pandemic has also been an important factor here because it's further increased awareness, both of the impact of long-term health conditions on individuals and the ability of organizations to work flexibly in an agile manner in order to get the best out of their employees. Finally, advances in technology have helped us to become more inclusive, so video calls, screen readers, and automated closed captioning technology are examples of how this works in practice. And as a company at the intersection of healthcare, research, and technology, all of these developments really resonate with us. It's central to our identity to ensure that everybody's able to fulfill their potential. And so this role is really focused on these aspects to ensure us to help us to work towards this goal. Therefore, now seems the right time, given where we're at in terms of healthcare, in terms of technology, and in terms of where global society is at, and in terms of where our business is at and wants to go as well.
That's a great answer. Thank you for that. So what support does Elsevier offer employees with disabilities?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to say there's no one thing that makes a disability inclusive. It's not quite as simple as saying, right, do this one thing and anybody with a disability can completely fulfill their potential. Inclusion means lots of different things in this context. It means accessing meetings and systems. It means being able to discuss what you need with your manager in a psychologically safe setting. It means being able to work flexibly, and it also means not facing challenges on your own. We therefore have several things in place to achieve this. So we have Elsevier Enabled, who are our employee resource group, our staff network for people with disabilities and those with caring responsibilities. We meet monthly, we have a Teams community, we have active sponsorship from Simon Helliwell, who is the head of our HR department. And this group has really helped not just establish a coherent community, but also helped drive positive change within Elsevier. We launched a Building Disability Confidence training course in December in association with Disability In, who are a disability training organisation, to give everybody some practical steps and tools that they can take away to help be more disability inclusive and disability confident. That will really help everybody feel more empowered and also helps normalise conversations around disability. We've also established a set process for raising disability and accessibility related issues for employees, and have backed it up with a budget to help buy the relevant equipment for people with disabilities to make sure that they can fulfill their potential, whether they're working from home or whether they're working in the office. And then finally, we participate in the Change 100 Disability Internship Programme, which is really important. It gives graduates and students with disabilities paid work placements. If you have a disability, you don't always get the same opportunities at the start of your career to enter the world of work and to get the work experience that everybody else gets. We're really trying to address that gap, and in doing so, help fill our pipeline and make sure that we can attract the most talented people with disabilities in the same way that we're looking to attract the most talented people in every other sector of our society.
That's awesome. That's a lot of great initiatives. I'm really, yeah, that's really, I'm impressed. The amount of work that we're doing. So great. That's really good. So let me ask you personally, what does disability confidence mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think there are a lot of similar terms, disability confidence being one of them. I think at Elsevier, we talk a lot about being humble, authentic, and collaborative. And so from that point of view, I think it's really honest to say that we're still on the journey to disability confidence at the moment. We've made a great start, and everybody I speak to really wants to help, but we still have a lot more to do. That's why I have a job. The great news is that we're hard at work, actively making progress to improve. Current top priorities include to make sure all our IT applications our employees use are fully accessible, as well as further improving our manager training and starting a mentoring scheme. We also need to think about how the new normal of hybrid working relates to people with disabilities. What does it mean for us? There will no doubt be both challenges to face and opportunities for further improvements. We'll face both inclusively and proactively.
That's brilliant. Thank you. So just in case, you know how people might want to really delve in deeper. So where can anyone find out more about the progress or impact that the new role will make?
Yeah, so I think, you know, the main people I want to speak to here are people who are thinking about applying for a job at Elsevier. If you have a disability, I think this can be quite a daunting process sometimes. You don't know what a company's like. You don't know how set up you will be for success. What I would like to say is that we're here to help. The more people with disabilities work for us, the more disability confident we'll become. So if you're thinking about applying for a job at Elsevier, we'd really like to speak with you from a disability confidence point of view. If there is a disability related adjustment when you're applying that you want to talk about, whether that's in terms of the interview process or whether it's when you start, you know, we're really here to talk about it with you and to help. So please send us an email to adjustments@elsevier.com and we'll definitely get back to you and be able to discuss that further with you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you for your time this afternoon. And yeah, we will watch the space to hear more about the work that you're going to be doing. And wishing you all the best for everything.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.